Welcome to a vlog as we continue our narrowboat journey south towards London. So we're just about to set off from, I don't know where we are, somewhere we pulled up last night. Nether Hayward? Somewhere in the region of Nether Hayward. And we're about to set off. The aim today is to get to Stoke Bruin, which means we need to go through Blisworth tunnel. So that's pretty big. We also need to get some diesel and a pump out. That's already quite a lot of things to be getting on with. But basically we want to get to at least Stoke Bruin, but maybe further. Maybe, but I don't want to put too much pressure on it. It's a nice day, it's sunny, it's definitely going to rain today, but that's fine, and it's incredibly windy. Let's cast off and see how it goes. You can tell how windy it is because as soon as we've unmoored, the boat has started drifting into the middle and we haven't even had to do anything. So weird, like whenever we set off, I'm like, have I forgotten something? Yeah. It's like, it's all here.
I think you do. You think, I always think.
I'm always just like, did I leave the kettle on or something? It's like, no, the kettle's coming with us, you absolute lunatic. Every time I have that like left bag feeling.
Yeah.
So weird. Okay, it's called Hayfordsfield Marina. We're running low on diesel, so I'm ringing around some marinas before we reach the tunnel. It says it's closed. I'm going to ring.
That means nothing, it's Google.
Exactly, I'm going to ring. Okay, do it the old-fashioned way, like the old boaters used to. We also need to get a pump out, which some marinas don't do for visitors. No, they're all private. Their facilities are all private. There are apps and guidebooks which show facilities for boaters, but one thing we've learned is just to always call ahead because everything is wildly inaccurate. So the next one is, Bugbrook Marina, and that does have a pub next to it.
Wait, so you're telling us they won't take our ship?
I think potentially they won't take our shit anymore. I think they used to, but they don't anymore. Why do I put lip gloss on when it's windy? Bugbrook Marina. They've gone for open 24 hours, which is one way to get around opening hours. I've called around a few of the local marinas, the most local ones we've just gone by, and they're all private ones and they don't do visitor services. So I think our next option is Gayton Marina, which is on Gayton Junction. So we were planning to go up, down the junction, but actually we're just going to go into a corner, turn off, go to the marina, get what we need, come back out into the tunnel. Easy. My God, the wind. Yeah,
the wind is really nasty actually. She's worried how much it's carrying.
The wind is dragging the boat, so okay. Let's concentrate on that.
Canoeists, the cyclists of the waterways.
That's so true. As I'm coming up to the end of my first year living on the boat, I've now seen each of the seasons, and I think autumn might just be the prettiest. We were also really enjoying this part of the Grand Union. It's a wide canal, which is a real pleasure to navigate. There are no tricky narrow bits, which makes it quite relaxing compared to narrow canals where you have to hold your breath at every bridge. Okay. Oh my God, they've got their own little boat! That is so cool! Because it's our first time on this part of the canal, everything ahead of us is new, which makes cruising really fun. The landscape the canal passes through is quite varied here. One minute you're going through villages or towns with houses backing onto the canal, and then you're back among the fields with nothing but farms and sheep. We've still got a lot of canals to experience ahead of us, but the GU is definitely a really good one. On this stretch, we kept seeing loads of herons. I think these are herons, not cranes. Correct me if I'm wrong. They always give off the impression that they're annoyed to be disturbed when you go by. Like, sorry to interrupt your work, mate. We're just passing by. You actually don't have to go. And then they usually only go a little bit ahead of you, and then you end up annoying them all over again when you get there. But we did manage to catch this guy, well, mid-catch. So we're approaching Gayton Junction just ahead of us, and we're going to turn left off the straight and go into the marina, and then we're going to do our marina stuff, come back out, continue straight on over the junction and go into the tunnel. But this first turn looks like it's a little bit hairy, like it's quite a hard turn. So we're going to try, I'm going to try and do it, and if not, then I'll panic and have Andrew take over. That bridge on the side.
found a bit of coal. Bonus. Put that in my stocking for Christmas.
Cost of living. Cost of living crisis. You can't just let coal go. Alright, let's go. We successfully got our pump out and then topped up our diesel at the Marina. Because we haven't been here before, we didn't know where the service dock would be, and this one's on the outside edge of the Marina, so we didn't have to go inside. But the problem was we couldn't turn around, so the only option was to keep going until the next winding hole, which luckily wasn't too far away. Oh wow.
They're doing amazing. Here you are, steering competently, less than a year into our boat journey. How do you feel? I feel good. It feels really weird that it's been only a year, because it feels simultaneously like it hasn't been a year, but also like it was about 10 years ago. So it's a weird time thing. But I feel proud. I do feel proud of us that we've managed to get, you know, this far in a year, because I think it was a lot to learn. And yeah, I mean, less than a year ago, I hadn't ever steered a boat. Just over a year ago, I'd never been on a boat, like a narrowboat. So I think that's pretty good. Pretty good going. There's a winding hole here just before the locks, and we're hoping that we'll fit in it and be able to turn around, because the next winding hole is 17 locks away in Northampton, which is definitely not on today's schedule. I need the turning practice, so I'm going to give this one a bash, metaphorically speaking. Literal bashes are what we're trying to avoid. I think that was alright. It was fine.
I would rate this winding hole a 7. So now we've turned around. Northampton is behind us, or at least the path to Northampton, the route. Now we're going back the way we came to Gayton Junction, then to the tunnel.
Excellent work.
And then lunch. Then lunch. So hungry.
Yeah, Blisworth, you can't see the end, and also there are the shafts where it really does rain. So actually, it'd be quite fun to be in a thunderstorm or a heavy storm during
Safe
the tunnel.
cocooned inside a tunnel for around 40 minutes, perhaps longer. I believe the book said that Blisworth is the 3rd longest tunnel on the network. So this is a big one. This is a big deal. It's 2-way. Boats may be coming in the opposite direction. But we're fine, because we've done Braunston and we know what that's like now. And it was scary, but you know, they fit. There's nothing you can do. They fit. If somebody wants a great pun attached to a boat, this is it. Freudian ship is available.
Seems to be a VHS exchange. Yes, I know what year it is, and they have all the carry-on films on VHS. What an exchange. Incredible.
I was hovering here in the middle of nowhere, but I've now done an absolutely perfect parallel park. Look at this. No roads. Perfection. Really proud of that. Okay, now I need to get out of this perfect park somehow. So we're now going into, well,
A new era.
yeah, we're actually not going there anywhere. We're just continuing on the Grand Union, but it feels like we've, you know, had a side quest basically, and now we're going back to the main story. So on to the tunnel. I don't know how long it is to the tunnel. We've got a full tank of diesel, we've got an empty toilet tank, we've got an empty second toilet, we've got a lot of water, we're pretty much 100% sorted and everything. I feel like I've got a fairly empty tank in terms of wanting lunch, but lunch is on the other side of the tunnel, so there is only one way to go. through. Let's do it. Tunnel sign in their garden. It's a bit posh around here, isn't it? Okay, so we're just about to enter the tunnel and it's 45 minutes and I think it's probably going to be slower for us because we're going to go really slow. So that's it. Let's get in.
At 2,811 metres long, Blisworth is apparently the longest, wide, freely navigable tunnel in Europe.
Okay, we're going in. I was like, I feel really confident. I feel absolutely fine. And now I'm like, I feel really nervous again.
It's wide enough for 2 narrowboats to pass inside, which means you go in praying that you don't meet anyone else while you're in there.
It's feeling narrow. And I assume that's the boat ahead of us.
Although I was still a bit nervous, it was nothing compared to when we did Braunston Tunnel. This time I knew what it would feel like and that I'd be okay, so it wasn't quite such a big deal. One of the things that made me really stressed about that first tunnel in Braunston is that a few years ago I had to get an MRI, and until then I've never had any kind of claustrophobia issues, so I went into it completely chilled. I wasn't worried about it at all. And then as soon as I got into the tube of the MRI machine, I just completely panicked. And it caught me off guard because it was this like visceral thing and I couldn't control it. My body was just like, I think we're dying. And ever since then, I've been a bit weird about small enclosed spaces. Like it sort of stayed with me. I was worried I'd get into a tunnel and have a complete meltdown, but the tunnels so far have been okay, as long as I don't think about it too much. The boat itself is of course a small enclosed space, but I think because I don't feel trapped in it, it doesn't feel constricting to me. Parts of this tunnel were rebuilt by British Waterways in the 1980s, which is why the middle section is kind of modern feeling. They used completely different materials and techniques, and the older parts are almost 200 years older, so no wonder it feels different. The whole thing's obviously a great feat of engineering, but it does have a lot of mysterious shafts and holes gushing with water, and the whole thing is just kind of scary and quite gross feeling. It's very dark, and it's cold, and it's loud. It's not my favourite thing to do, but this time around I was kind of able to, if not enjoy the experience, I could at least take it in a bit more. I was still very happy to get out.
So we're through the middle. So we're like in probably the last third, maybe, I don't know. We've been in here for a while. I feel like I live in this tunnel, but it's been without incident. There's been no other boats, and we're hoping there won't be any other boats. What we thought was a boat was actually, I think, the other end of the tunnel. So we've still probably got another 15, 20 minutes. I'm looking forward to getting out. And then lunch. This whole video is just going to be us heading towards lunch. Barely see where we came from. It's like a tiny pinprick. It's quite weird. But we're probably about 100 meters away from the exit. I'm very relieved. The first section was really hard, and then the second section was really good. I enjoyed that part. They should do the rest of it like that. Yeah, we're back to exit. It's raining quite hard. Shit. As you'll find out. Woohoo! Oh god, my eyes are like burning. I'm quite glad that was over. Long time to be in the dark. I think I did quite well.
Did amazing.
I didn't hear anything. Actually, I didn't touch a single thing in that tunnel, so we left it how we found it. I'm moored up.
Easy.
We made it to Stoke Broom. And we decided to pull in because we don't know how busy it is further along. So now we can go and get lunch. Lunch! Onwards to a Tesco superstore, an Asda superstore,
To a land of plenty.
a little, big, any large supermarket would do at this point.
To Milton Keynes.
To Milton Keynes. As I just turned the camera off, Andrew just said that we're Milton Keyno, which is what we are.
Milton Keyno. A blog title, surely.
We're Milton Keyno.